I'm a paparazzo, and I don't believe there's a single celebrity in the entertainment industry without any scandals to dig up, so I worked tirelessly from dawn till dusk. A top idol went out late at night during a heavy snowfall, only to find out it was because, as a southerner, he was so excited to see snow that he rolled around in it for ages. The film emperor visited a high-end restaurant on Valentine's Day, only to find the place filled with couples, leaving him as the awkward third wheel with his parents. A top female star went out in disguise, and I followed her all day, discovering she eats 6 meals a day. I didn't dig up any scandals, only managed to capture a series of beautiful photos of the celebrities their fans affectionately call me, a fansite paparazzi, and they beg me to release more photos. I am a paparazzo, the kind that everyone despises and can ruin someone's reputation at any moment. However, I have a bit of professional integrity and never engage in the kind of half-hearted attempts to cover things up with fake information because I'm tough enough. My personal account has a considerable number of followers, and my studio has grown to a decent size in just 2 years since its establishment. But this year, my career has hit a major setback. As is well known, the entertainment industry is like a massive dye vat, where fame, fortune, and sensuality intertwine. Under the influence of desire, it's hard to find anyone who remains untainted. I don't believe there are any celebrities in the entertainment industry who are completely free of scandals, so I started staking out popular artists day and night. My first Waterloo was top idol Zhuang Jinhao. I staked him out for half a month and finally caught him going downstairs late at night in heavy snow, sneakily checking if anyone was around. My drowsiness vanished instantly. I set up my equipment and started filming, but this guy didn't even make it past the entrance of the residential area. In this heavy snow, he suddenly lay down in the snow, then started wriggling around as if something was wrong. If you're itchy, go take a shower, the assistant whispered beside me. Sister Meow, Zhuang Jinhao seems to be from the south. He might have never seen such heavy snow before. I scoffed. Southerners aren't necessarily unfamiliar with snow. After a long while, a soft voice came from beside me. Maybe he usually carries a burden and hasn't played like this before. Over there, Zhuang Jinhao, after rolling around in the snow, played like a child, his handsome face unable to hide the radiant smile. I fell into silence. The next day, my account updated with 2 posts. One was a video, the other a photo. The former was a precious 20-second replay of a top idol wriggling in the snow, while the latter was a high-definition, atmospheric shot I took of him on a snowy night. The young idol in his early 20s built an ugly snowman downstairs in the residential area late at night. He even brought a mold with him. Who knows how many snow ducks he managed to shape. I took quite a few photos of him with snowmen and snow ducks. My university studies were too specialized, and whenever I took photos of people, I couldn't help but think about composition and lighting. If I hadn't been secretly photographing him, I might have even wanted to go up and adjust the lighting for him. The trending topics are buzzing with laughter. This is hilarious. I heard that Sanshui spent half a month trying to dig up dirt on Zhuang Jinhao, but all she managed to capture was this guy sneaking downstairs in the middle of the night to play in the snow. What's even funnier is that when Zhuang Jinhao was filming a variety show and encountered snow, he acted all aloof. Everyone else went to play, but he stayed cool. Turns out, this guy goes wild in private. Ha ha ha, you really take yourself too seriously, bro. Ha ha ha. Didn't expect to get caught sneaking around playing in the snow by the paparazzi, did you, Sanshui? Jia's photoshoot set is really well done. My Hao Ji's stunning beauty is captured perfectly. Daily question. When is Sanshui Jia switching careers to become a photographer? I want to book a session. Ha ha ha. This shoot is really well done, much better than the set the studio shot not long ago. Who would have thought? I never really got Zhuang Jinhao before, but the contrast in the videos and photos Sister Sanshui took is just too adorable. Thanks to the set of photos I took, Zhuang Jinhao gained over 100,000 followers in a single day. This is really strange, but I'm not one to believe in superstitions. Coincidentally, around Valentine's Day, my target was the film emperor Zhongqing. He rose to fame about 7 or 8 years ago, with a face that can hold up on the big screen, acting skills, and martial arts prowess. His fanbase includes those who admire his looks and those who love his action scenes, spanning from elementary school students to the elderly. His current status in the entertainment industry is extraordinary. He's in his early 30s, and there's never been any confirmed news about his relationship status. There are still some rumors circulating in the industry. Some say he's been secretly married for years and even has children, while others claim his orientation is uncertain and his private life is messy. But there are also those who say he's simply single. On Valentine's Day, I caught Zhongqing entering a high-end restaurant in a restaurant filled with couples. Zhongqing, dressed in a suit, looked like he was definitely up to something. I instantly got excited, determined to secure the Valentine's Day trending topic. As a result, about 10 minutes after Zhongqing had taken his seat, instead of the beauty I was expecting to arrive for the date, I saw an elegant couple walk in hand and sit at Zhongqing's table. They were an elderly couple, not young in age, but in excellent spirits and good health. Zhongqing's lips moved slightly, seemingly greeting the people across from him. Judging by the shape of his mouth, he likely called them mom and dad. On Valentine's Day, the 30-something-year-old film emperor was playing the role of a glaring third wheel at the upscale restaurant where his parents were having their date. I can't think of any reason other than being single on Valentine's Day. Zhongqing made it to the trending list for being a third wheel to his parents. Also hanging at the bottom of the trending list was another topic. Hashtag is Zhongqing not dating because he's in love with himself. Hashtag in the photo I released, the restaurant had a romantic atmosphere, with couples everywhere. Apart from Zhongqing himself, all other passers-by, including his parents, were intentionally blurred in the shot. This made Zhongqing's handsome face stand out even more. His fans were trying to persuade him in the comments under the trending topic. Bro, after all these years, haven't you found anyone you like? I'm dying of laughter. Zhongqing's parents seem really open-minded. Not only do they not pressure him, but they can also tolerate their grown son being a third wheel on Valentine's Day. Ah Sanshui, you're truly my goddess. Zhongqing hasn't posted any handsome photos for a long time. This guy is really handsome. I'd believe it if someone said he fell in love with himself and started a narcissistic romance. Something even weirder happened. Zhongqing's agent privately messaged me, asking if I had any other footage. As their studio wanted to buy it all, I didn't capture any blackmail material, but they were willing to pay a high price for the photos. In the end, they even complimented me on my photography skills and asked if we could schedule a shoot. I deeply feel that my professional competence has been offended. The little assistant chuckled beside me. Sister Meow, why don't we just switch to a photography studio? With your skills, we'd definitely be flooded with orders. I kept a straight face, speechless. I am someone who grows stronger with each setback. Top actress Su Jicho had just wrapped up filming for her new drama. On the very same day, she disguised herself and went out, wearing a wig, a short-haired one at that, and dressed in a youthful, androgynous style that gave off a gender-ambiguous beauty at first glance, making it hard to recognize her. I clicked my tongue. If it weren't for my sharp eyes, I really wouldn't have recognized her. But here's the thing, I followed her for a whole day, from morning till night, and discovered that she started eating at 8 a.m. She had a meal at a tea house, then hot pot for lunch, street food in the afternoon, and barbecue for dinner. After finishing, she went out for a walk, and on the way, she spotted something delicious and went in for another meal. Just when I thought she was done for the day, around 11 p.m., Su Jicho came out of her hotel again and headed to a nearby food stall for a late-night snack. No way, what on earth is her stomach made of? Damn it, watching her eat so deliciously today, I secretly ordered takeout of the things she had eaten, and I really couldn't finish it. She's a female celebrity, for heaven's sake. So once again, I didn't manage to dig up any dirt that day and had to humiliatingly update a set of photos of Su Jicho with a youthful vibe on Weibo. Every single one of them was in the same outfit in each photo. Su Jicho was in a different shop. In the pictures, the short-haired Su Jicho was almost bare-faced, but his flawless features and aura were more than enough to hold up under the camera. The palpable youthful energy combined with a down-to-earth charm made every casual expression incredibly lively. My caption: I'm stuffed just watching this, but clearly, no one cares whether I live or die. Oh my god, is that my Chio? This youthful vibe could easily pass for an 18-year-old high school boy, who said my sister's looks are too glamorous and her acting range is narrow. Are there any film crews out there? Send me scripts. Sanshui sis, if you keep this up, I'm going to become your technical fan. You're too amazing. Wait, sis eats 6 meals a day. How do you maintain that figure? A day later, Su Jicho reposted my post with the caption, next time you come, let's eat together, and please don't post it online anymore. My agent gave me a lecture. The comment section is once again filled with all kinds of ha ha ha. Compared to digging up dirt, I seem to be better at producing photos, so I've gained another nickname, a fandom-style paparazzo. Fans from various fandoms urge me to be more active every day. Enough already. Do they even respect a paparazzo? Wah wah wah. Not all paparazzi in the entertainment industry have hostile relationships with celebrities. Paparazzi like me are actually somewhat popular sometimes. When I attend events with my camera gear to take photos, celebrities recognize me and even wave or greet me specifically, then their fans wait on my account for stunning candid photos of their idols, a group of children crying out for food, who could bear to let them down. I don't have the habit of photoshopping people. Paparazzi never beautify anyone, but the celebrities under my lens still have their own unique styles, looking so beautiful it's like a battle of the gods. And so, the story finally developed in a direction I didn't want to see. And I gained genuine fans who earnestly urged me to change careers. I won't. Driven by a strong sense of career ambition, I decided to continue with my pursuit of following and photographing. This time, I chose a male actor with a polarizing reputation, Ji Qingjing. This young man is incredibly handsome, the kind of handsome that looks flawless even in a 360-degree close-up shot. It's because of this face and his acting skills that countless girlfriend fans and mother fans cover their ears and indulge in doting on him. He became incredibly popular within just a few years of his debut. Ji Qingjing has no shortage of anti-fans, which somewhat reflects the idea that fame brings trouble. However, the rumors about his bad temper are likely true, as he has been photographed many times looking displeased on set, yet, he himself seems completely unfazed by all of this. As for other rumors, such as having a wealthy backer, a chaotic private life, or frequently visiting clubs, there has never been any solid evidence to support them. I've seen Ji Qingjing a few times before, and this guy really does have an expressionless face every time, looking quite arrogant. It's almost only when he's acting or performing on stage that you can see him show more varied expressions. It is said that he also really dislikes paparazzi and unauthorized photographers. He was once photographed angrily scolding unauthorized photographers outside a filming location. At the time, there was a wave of criticism on Weibo, with people saying he was scolding fans rather than unauthorized photographers and that he was disrespectful. But with such stunning looks, as long as it doesn't involve any major ethical issues, any scandal won't shake his status. After all, whether it's positive or negative attention, it's still attention. For something like this, it's worth spending some time to keep an eye on. As it turns out, Ji Qingjing is not an easy celebrity to tail. I'm definitely not the only paparazzo keeping an eye on him, and gossip accounts frequently spin stories based on a single photo or a blurry video clip that lacks context. During the time I've been following Ji Qingjing, he's either been heading to the film set for daily shoots or reporting to his company, appearing quite dedicated to his work. On the rare occasions he goes out privately, he takes a sharp turn and speeds off, leaving all the paparazzi behind. Unsurprisingly, I end up losing track of him, yet rumors about him continue to circulate online. Looking at those all too familiar photos and videos, I can't help but sneer. They're all capturing similar moments, yet the stories spun from them are quite imaginative. In this line of work, I won't pretend to be a saint. Paparazzi are annoying, but spreading rumors is downright despicable. As expected, I lost track of the person again today. Unable to hold back, I gritted my teeth and turned to ask expressionlessly, did he just stick his middle finger out the window before turning the corner? That's the last straw. Now it was the assistant's turn to fall silent. Sister Meow, are we just going back like this today? Go back. I curled the corner of my mouth. Does he think he can shake me off that easily? Assistant was puzzled. Around 7 in the evening, just as the city lights began to glow, my car was parked in front of an upscale club, and my outfit had changed too. I was now wearing a black strapless fishtail dress. The club entrance was guarded by security, and everyone entering had to verify their identity and show an invitation to get in. There was a banquet here tonight, reportedly a birthday party for some wealthy young master. Meow jia, we can't get in without an invitation, can we? The assistant's voice chattered beside me. And how did you know Ji Qingjing would be here? Aren't we just waiting for an opportunity? Maybe we can sneak in. I was still in the car, staring outside. As for how I knew whether Ji Qingjing would come, well, that's thanks to my extensive connections. I was always well liked in school, especially during middle school and university. Among the classmates I interacted with, there were always a few whose families were loaded. Back then, I probably didn't quite understand where the boundaries between people lay. Later, when they graduated and became all sorts of chiefs, I finally got it. But it's not a big problem. My old classmate is quite capable in terms of intelligence, living up to our old vow of if one of us prospers, we won't forget each other. I will forever cling to my connections, forever. Guests continued to arrive at the entrance one after another. My equipment kept recording, with the car parked in an inconspicuous corner, the window half open. I didn't see Ji Qingjing's figure, nor did I see his car. Finally, heaven rewards the diligent. Ji Qingjing, dressed in his finest, arrived fashionably late. The security guard at the entrance didn't even bother to check if he had an invitation before letting him in. Sister Meow, Ji Qingjing has gone in. What should we do? The assistant asked. Should we try to find another building to see if we can get a shot of the inside? I pinned an exquisite rose brooch to my chest. I'll get out of the car and see if I can find a way in. You go look for another spot to see if you can get a shot of the inside. I hadn't even gotten out of the car when I saw a young man in a suit walking straight toward me through the window. I didn't understand why, but instinctively, I rolled the window up. A moment later, the window was knocked on. I lowered the window a bit and looked at the man standing outside. He bent down to peer inside, revealing a strikingly handsome face with a tall, straight nose and deep-set eyes. His broad shoulders and narrow waist were unmistakable even through the suit. Looking up from my angle, I could just see the small mole on the other person's Adam's apple. My mind was frantically searching. When did the entertainment industry get a newcomer with a face like that, whether in acting or talent shows? I should have heard about it. Miss Shang Miao. The other person spoke first, their voice matching the face perfectly. I paused for a moment. You know me. The other person seemed to smile. I've seen some of your work. Seen my work? What work do I have? The first thing that came to mind was my various hidden camera shots. Quite unethical. So, is this person considered my fan anyway? My real name has long been verified on Weibo, so it's not surprising that they know it. Sir, is there something you need? The man in front of me asked again. Did you come here today to follow and photograph Ji Qingjing? Seeing my full alertness, the other person added, don't worry, I'm not from his studio. If you want to go in, maybe I can help you. Life always has a way of turning things around when you least expect it. I was just worrying about how to get in, but the stranger in front of me might not be trustworthy. Of course, you can choose not to believe me. As if I never came, the other person said, turning to leave. I quickly called out to stop them. Wait a moment. I stepped out of the car, carrying only a bag in hand. After all, I had dressed up carefully, fitting the requirements for entering and leaving this occasion. Sir, may I ask how to address you? He smiled and handed over a business card, with a name and phone number embossed in gold on the black surface. Shi Lizho. The name was completely unfamiliar to me, a paparazzo who usually only delves into the entertainment industry, but this man's attire, no matter how you looked at it, suggested he was either wealthy or of high status. Mr. Shi, why are you helping me? I couldn't help but ask as I walked in, holding onto his arm. Do you have some personal grudge against Ji Qingjing? Shi Lizho was like a randomly spawning NPC. As soon as he discovered I wanted to film Ji Qingjing, he generously brought me in as his female companion. He didn't seem the least bit worried that I might capture something I shouldn't. After hearing my words, Shi Lizho seemed lost in thought for a moment before replying with a hint of delight. You could say that, as long as what you film is based on facts, it's fine. That sounded a bit like a personal grudge, and he was even happy about it. After bringing me in, Shi Lizho walked away, as he had his own socializing to do in such settings. Just a few minutes after arriving, I had already spotted several vaguely familiar faces, like those bosses who often appear in the finance sections. Of course, I definitely wouldn't be the only one tagging along with someone else to get in. This kind of fame and fortune scene, opportunities and connections are everywhere, but few like me come in just to photograph celebrities. After looking around, I finally spotted Ji Qingjing, who was being surrounded by admirers. He was wearing a wine-red suit with a black shirt underneath, holding a glass of champagne. Although he wasn't seen drinking, the atmosphere was intoxicatingly luxurious, exuding an indescribable air of nobility. What a perfect image of a wealthy young master. There have been many rumors that Ji Qingjing has a financial backer or a powerful patron. Could it be that this backer was something he was born with? Not having a camera on hand doesn't stop me from taking photos. A phone will do just fine. As soon as I came in, I noticed some young people here taking photos with their phones. It's rare to attend such an occasion, so what's wrong with me taking out my phone to snap a few more pictures? However, not long after, Ji Qingjing stood up, hugged the elegant, middle-aged woman who approached him, and then left with her. My gaze had been following them all along, but in the blink of an eye, the two disappeared around the corner. I instinctively wanted to follow and take a look, but as soon as I turned around, I ran into Shi Lizho, who was smiling at me, lost them. She Lizho casually took 2 glasses of champagne from a passing waiter's tray and handed one to me. Cheers. I was momentarily stunned, but after a moment, I still clinked glasses with him and took a sip of wine, my alcohol tolerance is neither particularly good nor particularly bad, it won't cause any trouble. I know where he went, I'll take you to another place to shoot later. Huh bro, what kind of personal grudge do you have against Ji Qingjing? Did you even go out of your way to tip off the paparazzi to take pictures, Mr. Shi? Do you have a major conflict with Ji Qingjing? I cautiously asked. Shi Lizho took another sip of wine and smiled ambiguously. Yes, the conflict has been quite intense lately, no wonder. Shi Lizho led me down another path, where we ran into an acquaintance of his, who looked like an elder. Lizho, who is this with you? That kind of affectionate gaze set off alarm bells. It was clearly a misunderstanding. Shi Lizho chuckled. Uncle Zhou, this friend I just met has something to attend to, so I won't keep you any longer. The elder addressed as Uncle Zhou clearly showed a look of disappointment. Shi Lizho led me up the stairs and then to an empty balcony, from where we could look down at another balcony covered in blooming flowers, which looked exceptionally beautiful, and Ji Qingjing was sitting in the hanging chair on that balcony alone here under the dim, warm glow of the light. He looks like a quiet prince, such a beautiful, poetic atmosphere. The distance between him and me suddenly feels much closer, and the architectural design is quite interesting. The balcony I'm on doesn't align perfectly with the one below. From down there looking up, this spot should be a visual blind spot. This balcony is not in the open area, so not many people can get there. Shi Lizho said. Miss Shang, I have other matters to attend to, please make yourself at home. After saying this, Shi Lizho walked away. It only dawned on me later. How does Shi Lizho know so much about Ji Qingjing's whereabouts? But work is important. The view from here is simply breathtaking. Even though I didn't bring any equipment, I couldn't resist taking some photos with my phone. His temper may not be the best, but there's no denying how handsome he is. I originally came here to dig up some dirt on Ji Qingjing, but he just stayed quietly on the balcony for a long time. At some point downstairs, it seemed to become very lively, as if the birthday person was speaking, or perhaps someone else. I feel a bit sorry for coming so recklessly without even knowing whose birthday banquet this is, but not too much, unfortunately. Ji Qingjing closed his eyes to rest on the balcony for a while, then answered a phone call. His tone sounded a bit impatient, but he only spoke 3 sentences in total. What's up? And then, understood. Couldn't really figure anything out. I know full well that digging up gossip isn't something that can be done overnight, but it's true that lately, Ji Qingjing hasn't had any material that could truly be considered scandalous. Even later, when he left the balcony and returned to the main hall, and those young, beautiful girls tried to get close to him, this top-tier male artist, who didn't look like an honest man at all, kept his distance. He didn't seem like a lecherous person at all. Later, he somehow got a piece of cake and went to a corner to eat it, but he still didn't look very happy. But at a certain moment, I saw Shi Lizho walk up to him. I don't know what the two of them said, but Ji Qingjing looked a bit agitated and even pushed Shi Lizho before quickly turning and walking away. Somewhat like a child throwing a tantrum at home. I could only see Shi Lizho's back, and I had no way of knowing what grievances existed between these two tonight. That's about it. I lost track of Ji Qingjing. This place is quite large, and there were quite a few people gathering around him. After all, he's a celebrity with a following. In the blink of an eye, the man was gone. When I went to look for him, I accidentally bumped into someone in the crowd. Looking up, I realized it was Shi Lizho. He looked at me, a hint of eager curiosity in his expression. He's already left, so, did you gain anything tonight? He seemed just as concerned about Ji Qingjing's whereabouts as I was. I suppose there's been some gain, though perhaps not the kind you were hoping for, I said. Shi Lizho raised an eyebrow slightly but didn't say anything more. I wanted to thank him again, but just then, someone else stepped forward to toast Shi Lizho. Lizho, you're another year older now, 27. Have you given any thought to settling down this year? I have a daughter. The next second, Shi Lizho suddenly wrapped an arm around my shoulder and smiled at the other person, Director Chen, saying that in front of my partner, she'll give me a hard time when we get home later. The man addressed as Director Chen glanced at my face, then smiled again after a moment. Lizho, why are you so low-key about dating? What's the point of hiding such a beautiful girlfriend? It's fine, your brother is probably still single too. This Mr. Chen seems determined to become in-laws with Shi Lizho. He said a few more words before finally putting his arm around me and leading me away from the crowd. sorry for using you as a shield just now, she Lizzo said apologetically, but he just happens to have a face that makes it easy for people to understand. At his age and with his overall qualifications, it's only natural for those around him to keep an eye on him, but my focus was still elsewhere. Is this your birthday party? Upon hearing this, she Lizzo smiled slightly. What's the matter? Are you going to wish me a happy birthday? Happy birthday, I said honestly, but this remark seemed to amuse the birthday boy once again, as he said, I've been quite interested in seeing Ji Qingjing run into some bad luck lately. If you ever want to find him again, you can contact me. This guy looks pretty gentle, so why does he also give off a vibe of being cunning and holding grudges after that night? My account finally updated after many days. The video taken at Shi Lizhou's birthday party ultimately didn't have much content. Ji Qingjing just attended a party normally, but compared to that, the photos I took with my phone were more impactful. One by one, the photos taken at the party that day were posted in the hall. Ji Qingjing was surrounded by stars, exuding an air of noble elegance. His handsome face paired with a burgundy suit made him so stunningly attractive that even the most discerning admirers would find it hard to look away, and on that small balcony, he was surrounded by blooming flowers, like a little prince. A truly beautiful set of photos, worth every penny I spent on this expensive phone. My copy is just one sentence. Is strawberry milk really that good? Ji Qingjing's fans, numbering in the tens of millions, flooded my comment section all at once. Sanchue sis, you're my forever goddess. Did you specifically take a set of stunning photos for my brother? Oh my god, Ji Qingjing's company, come take the blame. These photos are even live shots, taken with a phone. What on earth have you been shooting all this time? So good looking that I thought it was a photo shoot. No, what does Sanchue sister's caption mean? Ha ha ha, I know. Look at the increasing number of strawberry milk cartons by Ji Qingjing's feed after picture 4. I love this brand too, it's delicious, lol. In front of people, he's a dignified gentleman holding champagne, but behind the scenes, he's secretly drinking strawberry milk in the corner. Ji Qingjing, what other surprises do you have that I don't know about? When did Sanchue start taking money to photograph celebrities? Ji Qingjing has a whole basket of scandals, and you only managed to snap these few photos. There are quite a few comments online claiming that I'm being paid to whitewash Ji Qingjing's image. I'll admit I'm not skilled enough to dig up his scandals, but accusing me of taking money is going too far. Where's the money? The money hasn't been received. But being slandered is unacceptable. I immediately replied, no money was taken. The only reason I posted the photos is because I haven't managed to capture any explosive material yet, but none of the netizens cared about my situation. They were all just laughing. Ji Qingjing's anti-fans were still relentless, which infuriated me so much that I immediately released the video of Ji Qingjing driving away from me and sticking his middle finger out of the car window. Are you happy now? Are you satisfied? You heartless people, I will never forgive you. This is my caption. Netizens, funny, all I see is a desperate paparazzo, ha ha ha. So did Sanchue manage to catch up in the end? That drift by Ji Qingjing was really impressive. Has he ever raced before? Sanchue is hilarious. She got flipped off by Ji Qingjing while tailing him, and then his anti-fans accused her of taking bribes. Ha ha ha, the netizens were having a blast with the memes, but Ji Qingjing himself didn't seem to share the same sentiment. In the past, he ignored all those paparazzi shots or the thinly veiled rumors, but this time, he left a comment in my section. How did you take that photo on the balcony? Delete it, I'm going to sue you. Invasion of privacy. Just you wait. What paparazzi doesn't get tangled up in a lawsuit or two? Am I afraid of him? It wasn't taken in a private setting, and I was invited in by the host of the banquet, but netizens quickly caught on to the truth. Bro, when gossip accounts used to say you had a sugar daddy and a messy private life, you stayed silent. Now, with Sister Sanchue's photo shoot being so well done, you're suing her just because she exposed your love for strawberry milk. Oh my, what caused Ji Qingjing to lose his cool? It's so hard to guess, bro. It's totally normal for guys to like strawberry milk. My dad loves it too, no shame in that. This is hilarious. He only lost his cool when the real truth came out. What does that say about how much of the previous stuff was made up? The set of photos taken for Ji Qingjing became a bit too popular. Before long, the strawberry milk brand smartly approached him to be their spokesperson, and soon after finalizing the collaboration, it was officially announced. The ad teaser featuring the cool guy, who just days ago tried to deny his love for strawberry milk, dressed in soft pink, was released quickly. His fans were as happy as if it were the new year. Ji Qingjing's manager privately contacted me and sent over several boxes of strawberry milk. The little assistant slurped her milk and clicked her tongue. This strawberry milk really is delicious. No wonder Ji Qingjing loves it. It's sweet and tangy, with a rich milky flavor. It's just that a grown man like him loves this stuff. It's kind of adorable, whether it's part of his persona or not. Ji Qingjing's preference has won him a brilliant victory. The marketing angle of a handsome guy with a contrasting side and a beautiful woman will always have its market, but is it really true that not a single piece of dirt can be dug up on this guy? Sister Meow, are you still planning to take Ji Qingjing seriously? I stroked my chin. What was the goal I set in the first place? The assistant, dig up his dark secrets. Well, there you have it. Ji Qingjing, of course, didn't sue me. No matter how unhappy he was, he had to admit that, objectively speaking, his reputation had improved quite a bit after this incident, and he even gained more fans. It's just that now he's associated with strawberry milk, and whenever he goes out, fans tease him a little, which makes the cool guy feel a bit embarrassed. I still contacted Shi Lizho. I said I wanted to properly thank him and treat him to a meal. The young master from this wealthy family readily agreed. We had arranged to meet for dinner. The young master said he had an easygoing palate and could eat anything, so I booked a restaurant that had been on my wish list for a while. I arrived 10 minutes earlier than the agreed time. I had just taken my seat for no more than 2 minutes when I saw Shi Lizho walk in today. He was wearing a dark blue shirt paired with black trousers. Not everyone can pull off that kind of outfit, but it suits him perfectly. Actually, I did some digging into this Mr. Shi. He's a genuine heir to a wealthy family, with his family running various star-rated hotels and branches all over the world, not to mention his various relatives, who are all top talents in their respective fields. This is someone who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Sorry to keep you waiting. He smiled gently. It's fine, Mr. Shi. I just arrived as well. After ordering, the waiter left temporarily. Shi Lizho was a very approachable person. He said, "You can just call me by my name, Brother Lizho." I didn't miss this chance to climb the social ladder, looking at him with bright eyes. Shi Lizho is 2 or 3 years older than me, so what's wrong with calling him brother? It can quickly close the distance between us. He clearly paused for a moment, then chuckled lightly. Did I just walk into a trap? Not that serious, not that serious. Are you close with Ji Qingjing? Somewhat. What kind of closeness are you referring to? The kind where you know if he has any scandals. Sincerity is the ultimate weapon, and since I'm not trying to fool a child, it's best to get straight to the point. Upon hearing this, Shi Lizho chuckled again. I know, but I can't say. Then I don't quite understand. Can I ask you some questions? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Sure. Is Ji Qingjing's family really that wealthy? This rumor has been circulating for a while. Ji Qingjing isn't exactly low-key. Luxury cars, high-end residences, and accessories worth millions have been part of his lifestyle even before he became famous. Really? Shi Lizho nodded. How does it compare to your family's? Shi Lizho raised an eyebrow. About the same, I gasped. That meant they were quite wealthy. I didn't ask for more specific information, as Shi Lizho clearly wouldn't tell me, since you're unwilling to tell me what dirt he has, yet you support me in following him. What's in it for you? This was one of the questions I was most curious about. Upon hearing this, Shi Lizho showed a very amiable smile. I've been unhappy with him for a long time. I hope he leaves the industry soon, but I don't want to do it myself. Leaving the industry, does it have to be such a vicious curse, bro? Overall, this meal was quite enjoyable. First of all, Shi Lizho's appearance alone was enough to make the meal more pleasant. What's more, he didn't show the slightest hint of disdain for the paparazzi profession during our conversation, coming across as a gentleman whose words and demeanor were genuinely comfortable. Although I was the one who offered to treat him, Shi Lizho excused himself to go to the restroom midway through the meal. When I went to settle the bill, the waiter informed me that he had already taken care of it. Shi Lizho smiled and said, "You can treat me next time. I'm sure we'll meet again, bro. Don't smile so charmingly. I'm just a naive little girl. I can't help but want to persuade you to join the entertainment industry and bring joy to countless girls." Shi Lizho and I added each other on WeChat. I really did get competitive with Ji Qingjing, and during this time, I only photographed him after stalking him for several months. I've almost uncovered all of Ji Qingjing's secrets. Hashtag Ji Qingjing chokes on water from drinking too fast. Hashtag Ji Qingjing. Flees in panic after being boldly confessed to by male fan while using restroom at event #, Ji Qingjing blushes during kiss scene filming #. Behind these topics, more or less, lies my effort, but the problem is, despite all my efforts to stake him out, I still haven't managed to capture anything truly substantial. The content that was once widely promoted by marketing accounts and anti-fans still exists these past few months, but precisely because there's no solid evidence, it all just feels like marketing attempts to cover things up. It's just that this guy Ji Qingjing, he doesn't care when others spin stories with a single photo or unrelated videos, but as a paparazzo who sticks to the facts, he's held a grudge against me once. At a red carpet event, he even made a point of walking over, giving me a once-over as I stood there wearing a mask. "You're San Shui, right?" I met his gaze openly, my eyes curving into a smile. "Yes, Teacher Ji, it's me, Ji Qingjing. Alright, I'll remember." He harbored a subtle hostility toward me, probably annoyed that I was as bothersome as a fly. His agent has been quite polite to me during my time with Ji Qingjing. His popularity hasn't been bad, and his reputation has improved to varying degrees. However, every time I post something I've captured of Ji Qingjing, Shi Lizho praises me on WeChat, especially those contents that can be considered embarrassing incidents. Over the course of a few months, Shi Lizho and I became fairly good online friends. I still owed him that meal, and I was really looking forward to it. I asked him about his schedule twice, but our timings never aligned. Then one night, after wrapping up on set with another celebrity, I received a message from Shi Lizho. He sent me an address and asked if I had time at that moment to grab a late-night snack together. In principle, men and women shouldn't go out together late at night, but I owed him a meal. And Shi Lizho is also a very busy person. There's no time like the present. I had my assistant drive back first and took a taxi to the address Shi Lizho sent me. It was only a few kilometers away. When I arrived, I realized he had just finished a business dinner. His face showed signs of drinking, and his fair skin had a faint pink flush. He was sitting on the steps waiting for me, wearing a long coat, looking like a big, fluffy bear, and somehow appearing quite well behaved on such a cold day. He didn't even think to get in the car first. "Where's your driver?" I didn't plan on drinking, so I let him leave early. It turns out it's not just about having a midnight snack. I'm also being asked to moonlight as a designated driver. When I got into the driver's seat, I gave Shi Lizho a heads up first. "Bro, you know, right? I've never driven such an expensive car before. If anything happens, I wouldn't be able to afford it even if I sold everything I own." Shi Lizho was amused by me. "It's fine, the insurance is comprehensive, I won't make you pay for it." Sigh, how can this rich young master's sense of humor be so easily tickled in the dead of winter? It's the perfect time for a steaming hot pot. I only had a little for dinner, and I was already craving more. Who could resist an invitation for a late-night snack? It's unclear how much Shi Lizho drank, but he smiled more often tonight. While blanching the tripe, he narrowed his eyes slightly and said, "So you still haven't managed to dig up Ji Qingjing's family background?" Right, can't dig anything up. Other paparazzi have been digging for years. Rumors about Ji Qingjing's mysterious backer have circulated online for years, and they've captured photos of him with various big shots. But nothing concrete has ever been uncovered. Many of those so-called photos with others have even been edited to remove the people around him. The one sitting across from me actually knows, but his lips are sealed tight. As I ate, I looked up at the person opposite me and hinted, "Brother, you as you, Shi Lizho chuckled lightly. "It seems you only call me brother when you need my help, just like my younger brother. During this period, we've been getting along quite well online. I don't always call him Brother Lizho, but am I really that opportunistic? I've been keeping a close eye on Ji Qingjing. Will I offend his family?" I cautiously asked this question. After all, he's a young master from a wealthy family. I don't know why he insists on pursuing a career in the entertainment industry. "No, he won't," Shi Lizho said with a smile. "His family doesn't approve of him being in the entertainment industry either. As long as you stick to the facts, no one will give you any trouble." However, he leisurely added, "Ji Qingjing himself might give you some trouble, but it probably won't be too much." That's true. By the time the hot pot meal was over, it was already around 1 in the morning. I need to drive the young master's car to take this young master back first. Young master. She was in no hurry at all. When asked for his address, he gave a completely irrelevant answer. "Did you bring your ID card?" Shi Lizho pointed across the street. "That's my family's hotel. We can go there and make do for the night. It's too late to go back now. it's really hard not to resent the rich. A few minutes later, I sat in the suite of this upscale hotel, feeling quite conflicted. Young master, she indeed didn't treat me like a mere driver. He showed genuine humanistic care. I treated him to a hot pot supper, and in return, he let me stay in a presidential suite that costs over $10,000 per night. He was staying in another room on the same floor. The suite felt a bit too empty and unfamiliar, but after a long day of work, Master Shang was too exhausted. After a quick wash, he climbed into bed and drifted off to sleep. The next morning, he even had breakfast with young Master Shi. The crown prince, staying at his own hotel, naturally included breakfast. "What's on the schedule for today?" Shi Lizho asked. I glanced at my phone. "There's a charity event in Nanjing tomorrow, and many celebrities have been invited. I'm taking an afternoon flight there. I'll be away on business for 2 days. In our line of work, business trips are pretty much routine. Then I'll have the driver take you home later, mister." She really has a caring side. I almost feel like working for him. Rushing home to change clothes, packing my luggage, and then heading straight to the airport. I even managed to receive a message from Shi Lizho on the way, wishing me a smooth journey. He's really great as a friend. 2 days in Nanjing, in the chilly wind. The female celebrities were clearly stunning yet freezing. Of course, the male celebrities' deep V-neck suits were also quite captivating. There are quite a few messages on the phone every day, some from various colleagues in the industry, or executives and agents from certain entertainment companies. Paparazzi do indeed follow and expose celebrities, but for stars, this can sometimes be a mutually beneficial arrangement. As public figures, marketing one's persona inherently involves revealing a part of one's privacy to enrich their image. Being monitored by the public is a natural expectation, so in many cases, journalists can hardly be considered as infringing on privacy. Amidst all these messages, there are also greetings from Shi Lizho. I'm even starting to wonder if the young master has grown tired of his luxurious life and wants to experience the thrill of being a paparazzo with me. "Sister Meow, who sent you a message? Why are you smiling so sweetly?" The assistant's voice suddenly rang in my ear. I looked up belatedly, my smile freezing slightly. I was smiling, sweetly. "Yeah, sister, is there something going on lately?" the assistant teased. "It's not an online romance, is it?" Hiss. I glanced down at my phone screen and was surprised to find that Shi Lizho and I had been in touch every day during this period. "That's really bad." That day, I muttered, "Wealth cannot corrupt me, poverty cannot move me, power cannot." I don't know how many times my assistant looked at me worriedly, several times, hesitating to speak. Some things should be nipped in the bud. The career Waterloo is finally coming to an end. By the end of the year, my team caught a married male celebrity passionately kissing another young woman on the streets of New York. Upon closer investigation, we discovered that just last month, he was publicly showing affection with his wife on Weibo. The young woman in question is suspected to be a student at a certain media university. The age gap is quite significant. Miao Jia, should we expose this scoop? After a moment of thought, I said, "First, contact his wife." Not long after, the assistant brought news. "Miao Jia, his wife said she wants to buy this video for this amount. Should we sell?" She gestured a number. "Sell. A lot of paparazzi's income comes from this. It's not very ethical, but that's how the industry is. I also don't care about the intentions behind the male celebrity's wife buying the video. It's like a product. Once sold, there won't be a second time." However, 3 months later, this celebrity couple suddenly announced their divorce on social media, using very polished language, claiming it was an amicable separation. But not long after, someone photographed the male celebrity with a young woman. The so-called amicable separation was just a facade. I've been very busy lately. Besides having to follow and shoot myself, I also have to put effort into verifying the authenticity of what I've captured. This has occasionally caused me to miss some messages. That's perfectly normal. What's not normal is this big shot who specifically called me because I didn't reply to his messages. "Have you been busy lately?" Shi Lizho's voice came through. I happened to be at the hotel, and it was quiet around. "Yeah, pretty busy. What's up?" "I was thinking of asking you out for a meal." There's a bit of a joking element to this. If the young master wants company for a meal, sending a message can easily solve the problem. I was just about to say something when I heard the question from the other end. "Where have you been working lately?" I mentioned the name of a city. "Anyway, we're not in the same city." The call didn't last long. My sleep schedule has always been a mess. Sometimes I sleep during the day and go out as a night owl in the evening. I slept until around 7 or 8 in the evening. I was woken up by the ringtone of my phone. Picking up the phone, The glaring light made it impossible for me to see the caller ID clearly at first. Hello, Shang Miao, where are you? I've arrived in Luoqing. Those words snapped me awake. Squinting to make out the caller ID, I began to question my life. By the time I finished washing up and saw Shi Lizho at the agreed-upon restaurant, that feeling only intensified. I truly cherish my connections. Shi Lizho, are you also in Luoqing for business? I asked. Shi Lizho's gaze first swept over me before he slowly replied, I'm here for a vacation, and to learn a bit about what you journalists do. He added slowly, he's quite considerate, not outright calling me a paparazzo. How could I possibly let him follow me for real? Bro, I'm begging you, if you want to experience life, find someone else. Okay, I can recommend a few colleagues. No, Shi Lizho's gaze carried a hint of scrutiny. You used to be quite enthusiastic when asking me for information. Now you think I'm causing you trouble. Ancestor, this isn't about causing trouble. I have a bit of a headache. Alright then, it wouldn't hurt for the young master to learn a bit about the profession of paparazzi. At least he can see where the differences between everyone lie. A distinguished young master appeared in the field team, and the little assistant exclaimed, Sis, you're eating this well. If you don't know how to speak, just shut up, I snapped. This is Shi Lizho, he's with us for the night. The little assistant clearly had some impression of this person and looked rather stunned. And so, the young master Shi Lizho followed our paparazzi squad and pulled an all-nighter, spending most of the time in the car, chatting idly now and then. Even in the dead of night, we have to keep watch. I've told Shi Lizho more than once, if you're tired, go back to the hotel first. But not only did he not return to the hotel, he was even reluctant to doze off in the car, insisting on staying up with us at 2 in the morning. The target appeared, our car followed, and after filming for a while, I dialed the police number in utter disbelief. Hello, I'd like to report prostitution. We waited for the police to arrive, go in to make arrests, and then watched as several people, both men and women, were led out in handcuffs. The hot search was secured around 6 in the morning. The car arrived at the hotel where I was staying. The driver and assistant went up first. I turned my head and looked at Shi Lizho, who had fallen asleep at some point beside me. His head was resting on my shoulder, and it was actually quite heavy. I extended my index finger and gently nudged him to the side, slowly moving him away. Just as I was almost done, he woke up. The atmosphere was a little awkward. Awake, which hotel did you book? I'll take you there. The young master had no intention of moving at all. He said, it's fine, I'll just book another room. Annoying rich people. I felt that some things needed to be clarified. You saw it last night. This is how we make money in this line of work. By exploiting celebrities' privacy. If you have nothing else to do, you should just go back. What's wrong with making money this way? Shi Lizho seemed to think of something and sneered coldly. It's far more legitimate than my competitor hiring someone to pour boiling water on my money tree. Oh, the young master also cares about the money tree. Shi Lizho doesn't discriminate against paparazzi, which is quite touching. But if my buddy stays any longer, it's going to affect my state of mind. Shi Lizho didn't leave. He's still in Luoqing. Although he doesn't follow me around, he does inquire about my whereabouts to ask me out for a meal. Of course, later on, thanks to the young master, my small team and I also got to enjoy several lavish meals. The little assistant was genuinely invested in this ship. Miao Jia, I can't help but feel that this Mr. Shi is pursuing you. He keeps looking at you. I chuckled softly. Then why don't you evaluate his overall qualifications? Young, handsome, wealthy, gentle, considerate, generous, and interesting, the ideal type for countless young women. Then evaluate my overall qualities: young, beautiful, capable, honest, kind, and brave. I can accept the first part, but what on earth is the second part? Is that a term used to describe us paparazzi? Miao Jia. A couple of years ago when you were tailing that Su Gung and discovered he had crossed quite a few red lines in private, he offered tens of millions to buy the footage you had. You handed it over to the police without even blinking. If there hadn't been enough evidence to put him away later, what if he had gotten off scot-free? Wouldn't you have faced retaliation? Why does this kid always bring up the most uncomfortable topics? Stop talking about it. I still feel a bit heartbroken when I think about those tens of millions. I had just graduated not long ago, and faced with such a temptation, turning down such a sum of money left me crying for days afterward. How pathetic. It hurts so much. Assistant speechless, she continued. We may be paparazzi, but our studio has donated plenty to charity projects. We're getting more and more off topic, so I clear my throat. I mean, we're not a good match. were not suitable. A wealthy, high-class young man falling for a paparazzo. Does that make sense? My assistant stays silent for a long while. I think she finally understands what I mean. But after a long pause, she blurts out, "But sis, with a catch like that, just sleeping with him would be a win." Liz Ho stayed in Luocheng for a week. Most of the time during these days, their interactions were like those of friends, and the faint, ambiguous atmosphere lingering in the air didn't affect anything. Fortunately, this person finally left. Right after that came the Spring Festival, and during the holiday, the trending topics were also fiercely competitive. I'm still busy. My parents went abroad for the New Year holiday, with no intention of caring for their daughter, who is striving hard for her career. On the 5th day of the Lunar New Year, I was idly waiting outside a bar. Half an hour earlier, I had received an anonymous tip that a certain female celebrity, married for nearly 20 years, was having a secret rendezvous with a young heartthrob. Most of the people from the studio had gone back for the New Year, so I came here to stake out. I didn't have to wait long, just about 20 minutes, before I saw the heavily disguised female celebrity emerge, dragging a young man who was at least 6 feet tall by the ear. Although he was wrapped up tightly, we paparazzi have a certain level of sharpness, and it wasn't too difficult to see through the disguise to the true face underneath. My car wasn't too far away, or perhaps the woman was just too emotional, but I clearly heard, "You little brat, how old are you to be learning to hang out in bars? Just because you're tall and big, you think they won't check if you're underage? Huh, your wings have hardened. Just wait till I get you home and teach you a lesson." The boy, whose ear was being pulled, cried out several times, "Mom, Mom, please save me some face." Thought it was a big scandal. Turns out it's just teaching a rebellious son a lesson. I was just about to pack up and head back to sleep. Just then, a group of people walked out of the bar, both men and women, but one of them looked particularly familiar. As their gaze turned my way, I quietly lowered my head and rolled up the car window, but it was useless. Liz Ho tapped on the car window, and the person behind him called out, "Liz Ho, what are you doing?" I heard him point at the front of the car outside the window and say, "I saw the license plate number." I rolled down the window and chuckled. What a coincidence, brother Liz Ho. We last chatted a few days ago, and the content was just New Year greetings, mass sent version. "Are you at work?" he asked. "Just finished, about to leave." He nodded and hummed in agreement. "That's perfect. Could you give me a ride?" I stepped past him, looking at those behind him, and pointed at his friends. Seeing this, Liz Ho glanced back, then continued leaning down to look at me and said, "My driver isn't here, and they're not going my way." The young man who had been approaching to call Liz Ho to the car paused for a moment, then quickly caught on. "Liz Ho, you have a friend to take you, right? We'll head off first then." With that, he turned and called the others to get in the car and leave without looking back. So Liz Ho turned sideways to show me the situation. All his friends had left. Get in the car. After entering the address on my phone, Liz Ho stayed very quietly. He closed his eyes. I didn't know if he was asleep or just resting. As the car slowly came to a stop, I turned to look at the man who still hadn't opened his eyes. Liz Ho was indeed very handsome. Not only handsome, but he clearly knew how to take care of himself. This kind of alone time was actually a bit delicate. Liz Ho, wake up. I nudged him. Here already, Liz Ho, however, showed no immediate intention of getting out of the car. He glanced around, noticed the equipment I had placed in the back seat, and said, "I have quite a bit of photography gear at my place. Interested in coming up to take a look? Why don't you just say your cat can do backflips?" Liz Ho was also a straightforward person. "I don't have a cat." In other words, the photography equipment is indeed real. I was about to say, what's so special about photography equipment? It's not like no one has it. But then Liz Ho handed me a photo. "Do you think these are any good?" I took a closer look and felt puzzled. Sometimes there's a reason for resenting the rich. I suddenly feel like going up for a sit again. Bien Ru said with a smile. "I really want to touch equipment worth millions." Liz Ho smiled and invited me upstairs. This is his own residence. A spacious apartment in a high-end community, exuding the scent of wealth in every corner. The equipment in the photos is all stored in a single room, where both temperature and humidity are kept constant. I was utterly amazed. "This is practically the room of my dreams. If you like it, you can take it." Liz Ho's voice came from behind. "The sound of money." No. I shook my head like a rattle drum. "If it gets bumped or scratched, I can't afford to pay for it." "Who said you have to pay?" I paused. Surely no one would sell themselves out for a camera lens. Before he could finish speaking, Liz Ho leaned in closer. carrying a faint scent of alcohol and perfume. He asked me, would being with me count as selling yourself out? Oh, how could he just say it like that? I like you, don't you know? He asked again. This offensive was clearly much more intense. Perhaps I shouldn't have come up just to satisfy my eyes and hands. It's the first time I've met a girl I like, and I don't want to let go. He leaned closer and closer, forcing me to lean back. Tell me, what can I do to make you like me? All these camera lenses were bought especially for you. Even if you don't like me, surely you can't dislike them, right? He lowered his head and nuzzled my shoulder, then stopped moving. The temperature seemed to be rising continuously, and I felt a tremor in my heart, my cheeks growing warm as well. Can we talk outside first? I whispered. I'm afraid of bumping into them. The person in front of me chuckled softly, took my hand, and led me out. Lijo's hand was warm, and I felt even hotter. Lizho poured me a glass of water, still warm right now. I just want to drink cold water. Lizho took off his coat, revealing a gray sweater that gave off a more casual, homey vibe. Shang Miao, he called out to me. I've already shared my thoughts. What about yours? His gaze was intense. I was completely caught off guard. Tonight was even a chance encounter. Yet Lizho could pull off a confession on the spot. Those words must have been on his mind for who knows how long, and the brand new equipment in that room also required time to prepare. I don't know. Upon hearing this, Lizho sat down beside me, looked at my face, and asked, which kind of not sure? Not sure if you like me, or not sure if you want to be with me? I wanted to say something, but didn't know what to say. Lizho said, if it's the former, I have a few questions for you. Do you like money? I have money. Do you think my appearance matches your aesthetic? It's okay, then I must be considered good-looking in your eyes. Would my personality be terrible for you? No, Lizho said with certainty. Then you like me. What kind of summary is this? That's a bit of a rogue move. If it's the latter, he continued on his own, but the next second, looking into my eyes, he said, how will you know if it's suitable without trying? He leaned in too close, and the small mole on his Adam's apple was also near. Very sexy. The assistant's words still echoed in my ears. If you get to sleep with him, it's a win. As if possessed, my lips brushed against the small mole on his Adam's apple. Lizho fell silent, looking down at me, his deep eyes like whirlpools that could suck a person in. Can I take that as a sign of agreement? He asked after a long pause. Before I could answer, he held me tightly. This kind of intimate and prolonged embrace was also a first for me. After a moment, I raised my hands and hugged him back. On a late night of overtime work, I was no longer single. In the beginning, one should be more reserved when starting a relationship, but the hormones between adult men and women tempt each other. A little over a week after we got together, we were kissing in the car, unable to tear ourselves apart. The feeling of kissing someone you like is like an electric current surging through you, making your heart tingle. As our lips and tongues intertwined, I would unconsciously touch Lijo's hair or earlobes, until one day when he walked me home, we went upstairs and kissed indoors, and my hand inadvertently slid down to his Adam's apple, grazing it lightly. He didn't react much. Sliding further down along his collar, he grabbed my hand and asked in a hoarse voice, what do you want to touch? I whispered, just a little touch, don't be stingy. He chuckled softly, and the next second, he pulled my hand out and slipped it under the hem of his shirt. Go ahead and touch, he said generously, up or down, as you please. As we grew more familiar, I kissed the small mole on his Adam's apple many times. I also have a small round mole on the inside of my knee, which he loved to kiss. The relationship lasted for 2 years, and that year, Lizho turned 29. My studio has been undergoing a transformation recently, shifting toward crisis management. One night, after we finished, he held me and said, at my age, I should start thinking about marriage. What do you think? After hearing this, I silently got up, put on my clothes, and said, all right, let's part on good terms. It's true that mismatched backgrounds shouldn't be forced, and I've long been mentally prepared for this day. Lizho was puzzled. He suddenly stood up and grabbed me. I wanted to ask if you'd consider coming home with me to meet my parents, and you're breaking up with me. I was also taken aback. What else? Wait for your parents to write a check and ask how much money I want to leave you. Not impossible. Lizho speechless. He seemed to grit his teeth, rummaged through the bedside drawer, and pulled out a diamond ring, slipping it onto my finger without a word. Let's get married. This is the engagement ring. Will you marry me? The sense of ceremony is a bit lacking, but it seems like I pushed him too hard. After arranging the meeting with the parents, I asked Lizho how his parents viewed me. You started your own business and opened a studio, achieving so much in your 20s. My parents think you're amazing. I'm pretty awesome. The day I went to his house started off smoothly enough. Lizho introduced me to his parents. But then another figure slowly descended from upstairs. When I got a clear look at the person, I froze. Then I found myself face to face with Ji Qingjing. He looked at me first, then at Lizho. Why is it you? He looked somewhat distraught. I wanted to ask the same thing, but Ji Qingjing then pointed tremblingly in Lizho's direction. Lizho, how could you be so ruthless? I always wondered why. She kept challenging me before. Did you stoop to getting involved with a paparazzo just to force me out of the industry? What kind of talk is this? But as soon as he finished speaking, his mother slapped him on the head. Stop talking nonsense, hurry up and greet her. So, I heard a humiliating call, sister-in-law, sister-in-law. Now I was really confused. Lizho, let me introduce you, this is my brother, my biological brother. I take my father's surname, and he takes our mother's. Later, Lizho explained to me, originally, we planned to have him join the family company, but this kid went off to become an actor without a second thought, leaving all the responsibilities to me. My parents ordered all our relatives and friends not to help him. Who would have thought that Ji Qingjing would still become so popular? It really irked me. So began the story of him providing me with opportunities to capture his brother's embarrassing moments. You two brothers, I forced a dry laugh, are quite interesting. After 3 years of being a top star, he suddenly became my brother-in-law. After 3 years of being a paparazzo, I suddenly became his sister-in-law. Life sure is thrilling. One day after our marriage, Ji Qingjing giving me a ride in the rain made it to the trending topics. Hashtag suspected Ji Qingjing's romance exposed. Hashtag Sanshue Ji Qingjing. Hashtag. Amid the uproar of public opinion, this fragile top star finally couldn't hold back and went crazy, posting on his main account, she is my sister-in-law, my own brother's wife. Do you want to ruin my family? Do you understand the feeling of your brother saying he's bringing his partner home to meet the parents, only for it to be someone you know so well? What's wrong with giving my sister-in-law a ride on a rainy day? If I didn't, what if my brother found out and beat me up? Then the trending topics changed again. Hashtag Ji Qingjing, yes, she is my sister-in-law. Hashtag Ji Qingjing, are you trying to ruin my family? Hashtag. Looking at the trending topics, I asked Lizho, is your brother okay? Shouldn't you call and check on him? Lizho lowered his gaze to his financial news. No need, he's quite mentally healthy. He had just returned from outside, still wearing his gold-rimmed glasses and suit. That refined yet degenerate aura was now tinged with a touch of maturity. I couldn't help but lean in to kiss him. Lizho cooperated perfectly, pulling me onto his lap. Be good, help me take off my glasses, extra. Lizho's ramblings. When I first met Shang Miao, I only thought of her as an entertainment reporter with decent professional skills. She is dedicated, interesting, and beautiful, which easily makes people feel fond of her. We were online friends for a while. At first, she approached me with ulterior motives, trying to gather various pieces of information, but her words were never off-putting, and she knew how to keep things in check. Later, our conversations were no longer limited to her work. That day, Ji Qingjing came to my office to annoy me and saw me looking down, replying to Shang Miao's message. Bro, why are you grinning so smugly? Don't tell me you're having an online romance with some young girl at your age. You're going to let her trick you out of your underwear. I should have told my mom when I was little that I wanted to be an only child. Forget it. Ji Qingjing could be considered half a matchmaker. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.